Here we go. Another boring AR pistol. What? Welcome back, friends. Today we're talking about the FightLite SCR pistol. Now, if you don't know who FightLite is, they make featureless ARs for those unfortunate people who live in totalitarian states. They developed an AR that gets rid of the buffer tube so it can have a more traditional stock. And this is the pistol version of that. I've already added a couple things to this one, so I'll roll some footage of the virgin pistol so you can see how they come. This particular one is chambered in 300 blackout. It has a 7¼ inch nitrided barrel made of 4150 steel. The barrel extension and bolt are both mil-spec. The receivers are machined from 7075 forgings and are hard anodized. Overall length is 20¼ inches, height 4½ inches, and width 2¼ and it weighs just 3.9 pounds. This makes for a very svelte rifle caliber pistol. The only included accessories are a lock that no one's going to use, an empty chamber indicator, and a 10-round PMAG. From the factory they just come with a thread protector, so I added the compensator and added the sight, and I added this sling swivel as well. So they come with 2 mounting points for sling swivels, one on the retaining nut for the recoil spring, and another where the forward assist would normally go. You can't have a forward assist on this particular gun because of the way they've designed the bolt. Now, on the topic of this retaining nut here, I wish they had included a tool so you could take it out, but they did not. So I might contact them and see if they can provide one, or, you know, I could definitely get that off some sort of way. Not too worried about it. So this design does have some ergonomic quirks to it. The first thing you might notice is how the safety is behind the trigger. Additionally, manipulating the mag release because of where your hand is at is pretty much impossible, but it's not too difficult to use your offhand to reach over and eject a magazine this way. Another aspect of this design that I think is kind of annoying is the charging handle. When you go to actuate it, it comes right back and hits you in the hand. The best way I found to charge the pistol is to hold it with your offhand and charge it with your shooting hand. And of course the bolt release functions as normal. So let's open this thing up and see how it works. So disassembly is like just about any other AR. Pop the pin, slightly rotate it forward, pull the front pin all the way out, and then she comes completely apart. Now this is where things get a little interesting. Take a look at that bolt, folks. The actual bolt is just any other AR-15 bolt, has an AR-15 firing pin, but the bolt carrier is truncated and has this little rat tail. The rat tail fits into this little detent right here, and inside there is your recoil spring. Now this isn't really a new idea, it's actually pretty similar to Benelli shotguns. But the action operates on direct gas impingement just like a regular AR. The bolt carrier disassembles quite easily after you remove the pin holding the rat tail in. The rest of the disassembly is standard AR. And what's really unique about FightLite's design is the proprietary parts are really only the bolt carrier and the lower. This upper is just like any other AR upper. And you can install this bolt carrier in any upper and throw it on this thing. Now let's take a closer look at this lower, and I'll take it over into the light so you can see it better. It has a proprietary fire control group, and this hammer is very skinny. Taking a look at the hammer spring, that looks pretty standard, but nothing else in there really says AR. The machining on the lower looks quite good, and so does the finish. I would say their quality control is top notch. The trigger pull on it feels pretty good. You can see the amount of take up it has, as well as the amount of reset. Reassembly of the gun is just a little bit different from a typical AR in that you can't put the front pin in first and then rock it down due to like this real rat tail. What you have to do is you have to align that up first, get that pushed down in there, and then once you have it together, flip it over, push your pins through. So let's see how she shoots. I was having a little trouble finding the best way to hold this thing. When I was dry firing it the night before, I thought maybe a single-handed Olympic style might work pretty good. But as you can tell, it's not really working out. I finally decided the best solution was a two-hand grip, with my support hand holding both the handguard and the magazine well at the same time, while my strong side elbow is chicken winging out. Shooting with the sling attached didn't adversely affect it at all, but it didn't really help either, unlike most AR pistols where you can use the sling to really lock into the gun. Of course, being able to let go of the gun and not have it just fall to the ground is important, so the sling is still useful. As you can see from the one-handed shooting earlier and the slow-mo shots here, the recoil is very manageable, and most of the force is going straight back. It makes it really easy to stay on target, when the targets aren't falling off their stand, that is. I set out some smaller targets to push the accuracy of this a little bit. But of course, shooting offhand like this isn't a really great test. I'll do another video on accuracy once I get a rest set up. I shot 200 rounds through it without a single issue. Hardly a large number, so stay tuned to see how it performs in the future. One thing I did notice was that every single one of the cases hit the brass deflector and it dinged up the mouth of the case. But ejection was very consistent. Most of my brass ended up in one nice little pile. Overall, I like this little thing. I have to admit, I've been a little bit bored with ARs here recently, but this SCR pistol is definitely something unique. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.